Let's be real. The single most important decision you're going to make as a YouTube creator has nothing to do with your camera or your editing software. Nope. It's picking the right niche. If you get it wrong, you're pretty much just shouting into the void. But if you get it right, well, you could be on your way to building a six-figure business. So today, we're going to break down the playbook for getting it right. This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Or I guess in this case, the $100,000 question. This is the exact spot where so many creators get completely stuck, totally paralyzed by all the choices and that nagging fear of picking the wrong thing. And you know what? That fear is completely justified. Getting this one decision right from the very beginning, is often the biggest difference between a channel that just fizzles out after a few months and one that becomes a solid six-figure income stream. But there's a really simple framework that can cut through all that noise and make this decision way clearer. It's called the 3Cs model. It's a system for sizing up any niche, and it comes from the work of YouTube automation expert Victor Katrina. Okay, so it all boils down to these three questions. First, content difficulty. Just how hard are these videos to actually make? Second, cost to create. What's your budget looking like for each video? And third, competition. How many other people are already doing this? The perfect niche, the real sweet spot, is one that scores low on all three. So let's see what that actually looks like. Let's start at the very top with what the experts call S-tier niches. Think of these as proven blueprints for success. These are models with incredibly low risk, but really high potential for reward. All right, our first S-tier blueprint is called the local expert. The idea here is to create a channel that gives updates on the housing market, but for a very specific place, like a single state, a province, or maybe even a whole country. People are always looking to buy and sell, so this topic never gets old. So let's look at the numbers for a niche like this. Content difficulty is just a 2.5 out of 10. The cost is a 3.5. And here's the kicker. The competition is a measly 1.5. For a topic that has constant, built-in demand, that is a wide open field. I mean, the expert source puts it perfectly. For something like real estate, which people are always searching for, the level of competition is just shockingly low. That makes it a perfect target. Okay, our next S-tier blueprint is the superfan. And the idea here is just beautiful in its simplicity. You pick one single beloved TV show, and you build an entire channel just dedicated to breaking it down and analyzing it. Get this, the example channel, Rookie Central, pulled in over 6 million views with only 28 videos. Now look at that competition score, a 1, a perfect 1 out of 10. If you can find a show that has a passionate fan base but no one's really making analysis videos for it, you've basically struck gold. And our third S-tier blueprint, the AI storyteller, is honestly perfect for anyone who's on a really tight budget. The whole concept is you use your own gameplay footage from a popular game, say like Star Wars, and then you layer it with AI-generated scripts and voiceovers to tell totally new stories in that universe. Just look at these scores. They're practically zero, a 0.5 for difficulty and a 0.5 for cost. You literally buy the game one time, and your video footage is free forever. This is hands down one of the most accessible, low-barrier niches for any beginner to jump into right now. Okay, so we've seen the easy wins, the no-brainers. But sometimes, a niche with a higher difficulty or a higher cost can actually be a smart, calculated risk. The trick is knowing the difference between a smart risk and a giant red flag. So here's a perfect side-by-side comparison. On the left, a smart risk, animated workouts. Yeah, they cost over $100 a video to make, but the competition is incredibly low. On the right, though, you have a bad risk, edgy senior health. The videos are cheap, sure, but the competition is maxed out, a 10 out of 10. And on top of that, you run a huge risk of getting demonetized or even banned from YouTube altogether. Now, to really hammer home this idea of risk versus reward, let's look at a bit of an extreme example, the geopolitics niche. This area is absolutely full of controversial topics that can get a channel demonetized in a heartbeat. It's incredibly high risk, but the potential reward is, well, astounding. One channel playing in this space pulled in 7 million views from just 15 videos. This just goes to show you that while the risks are enormous, the audience demand for this kind of content is absolutely massive. It's like walking a high wire, but the payoff can be huge. So after looking at the easy wins and the high-risk gambles, is there a single niche out there that just hits the sweet spot? one that perfectly balances low cost, low difficulty, and low competition, but with massive audience interest? Well, according to our expert source, there is. It's a niche that he calls Beyond S tier, and it's perfectly embodied by a channel from one of his own students called Stickman Scientist. And these numbers tell the whole story. A content difficulty of just 1.2, a cost of 3.5, and competition at a measly 2 out of 10. This is the perfect trifecta. It's incredibly easy and cheap to produce, with a wide open field and a huge potential audience that's just hungry for knowledge. This niche really has a winning formula. The scripts are simple, the visuals are super easy to create, and you can hire a fantastic editor for around $50 a video. The student who created this channel went from working as a server to earning nearly $10,000 in just 2 months. That is absolutely life-changing stuff. So that really just leaves one final question. You now have the framework, you have the blueprint for success. The explainer niche has proven itself to be one of the most powerful and profitable opportunities on YouTube today. So, what complex idea are you ready to simplify for the world?